What is up, guys? It's Martin Shred here for you for another video this week. And today's topic, I want to talk about something that is very important for your growth as an individual and as a human being. And that is your inner life and the cultivating of this inner life and what you can do to rise above in this particular topic. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Stay tuned, guys. I am not here to present to you any get rich quick scheme in order for you to get like $1 million or whatever currency it may be in a short span of time. This richness that I will be talking about is about the richness that exists within yourself and that you can cultivate within yourself, and then can only come through your own effort and probably not through the way you might think. How many times have you come across a person and maybe you found her or him attractive, or he's just a friend of yours, or maybe if you don't know that person at all, how many times that when you started talking to that person, you just find out that that person is just pretty much a copy of everybody else. You talk about the same things, the same movies, the same music, the same events that are happening in life, and you get to a point that most of people are just copies of one another with different genders. Like, that is not properly what inner life means. When you find someone that has inner life, this person has a sort of halo to it, sort of an aura around that specific person. Because when you look into the eyes of that person, you see more than just a human being that is just a piece of meat. I'm sorry to tell you guys this. I know that I'm being very harsh, but this is exactly what I feel when I see some particular person in out in the street or in my friend circle, for example, that is just pretty much a copy of a standardized version of what a human being should be, or at least as we are told by the media and such. And so there is a very specific quote that I tend to rely on, and this quote is not exactly it is not exactly known as to who actually wrote or actually said this. There are rumors that it was actually Plato or some Oriental authors, but anyway, that is whoever wrote it. I think it's pretty good into explaining a concept that I'm trying to communicate to you guys. The quote is the following: mediocre people discuss other people. Commoners discuss facts, but wise people discuss ideas. I always found this quote very intriguing because it is completely true in any way, shape, or form that you look at it. Let's take this specific scenario, for example. If you go out in the street right now, go into any public space, a cafe, a park, a bar, the supermarket, the grocery store, whatever it may be, and just pay a little attention to what are people talking about with each other. Chances are that most of them are actually talking about other people and gossiping behind their backs rather than developing some proper discussion into a specific topic. I know there are places and times to do this sort of thing, but still, just make this little social experiment in your life. Listen to people's conversations for a bit, and you might conclude that most of the time people are talking about other people. And so, what does that contribute to your overall life? You are just focused on everyone else's lives instead of focusing on your own life. And I actually noticed this, but I wasn't able to put it into words until I actually came across this particular quote. Even when I am having dinner with some of my family and some of my friends, this actually ends up happening. I find myself listening to conversations that are not properly discussing an important subject or topic or even facts. We're just talking behind people's backs. And I have been thinking about this lately and given it a proper deep thought. And what I found was that people actually do this and take pleasure in this because they're addicted to this drama, addicted to this novelty that perhaps their own lives does not possess. And so what does this end up happening is the following. If these particular people actually spend that time inwardly, or meaning with themselves, trying to find themselves, perhaps they would come across something that it would actually improve their lives. But as I stated in another video of mine, the truth hurts, and this is why some people don't even want to spend time with themselves. People also tend to produce this coping mechanisms in order to avoid any free time that might let their minds be free to wander, because they fear going into their own selves, exploring who they really are. Sometimes I'm having these conversations or getting deep into a topic that someone addresses, or maybe that specific conversation relates to any other thing that I was happening to be thinking at the moment. And people sometimes tell me, "Oh, Martin, come on, dude, you're not supposed to make a psychology analysis or philosophical analysis or pretty much anything you hear." And the truth is that I was not. I was just exploring that specific topic, and people just end up dismissing me and telling me that I don't need to think so hard about it because it doesn't even matter. But I don't think that is true. I think the people who say these sort of things actually are afraid of themselves. They are afraid of taking a look within, and so they fill up their time in order for their mind to actually be completely blank and just not face its own issues. And so people, as I was talking about earlier, the coping mechanisms, they produce this coping mechanism, and they can be anything. Some people overdo themselves with work. Some people indulge in fantasies. Some people are addicted to escape in either any way, shape, or form, whether it be through maybe drinking, excessive drinking, smoking, video games, and anything it might be that pretty much takes your mind into an escape form and doesn't let you pretty much think about anything else. And the most important point, which is yourself. People nowadays, and sometimes myself included, I'm not a like a sage or a wise person or anything. I'm just talking to you guys about my views of the world, my conclusions, my thoughts, and I hope you guys get some value out of this. But just keep that in mind. I am not an expert, of course. I'm just trying to make some sort of debate with you guys and actually produce some solutions as to how we can improve this upon ourselves. So, as I was saying, they're addicted to the escape. That means that inner life is something that these people pretty much don't have. And but this can be solved if we are willing to search for ways that elevate our consciousness to a new level and make us wonder about what life is truly about. And that is certainly not consuming and working to pay bills until you die. Because this richness of inner life comes through learning and self introspection rather than consuming. But then you ask, Martin, then what can we do in order to cultivate this inner life? How can we improve on this? Well, I got just a thing for you guys. I have scribbled down some life questions that really help me, and I tend to recur to them every once in a while in this notebook. They make me think about life and about where my own journey is leading me to. For me, what gives value to things? What gives validity to things? What makes things valid for me? Things in the sense of what happens to me. In what moments was I truly happy? What things truly gave me peace, serenity, and plenitude? Who is this being that is inside of me? In what time did that being manifest itself? In what situations was I stronger and an inner person? In what situations did I cause somebody else to be happy genuinely? When was it that I really shared something with someone? When was it that I really was with the other people physically? When was it that I was truly there and not inside my own head? What are the edges that I'd like to work on myself? Am I working towards that? What would I like to do for people throughout my life? Have I have I been working towards that goal? This very simple set of questions, guys, really helps you to put your life into perspective. And I am sure that along with some other activities that raise your mind and elevate your spirit, such as going out into nature, appreciating a fine work of art, whether it be a painting or a beautiful building. I'm sure that this will help you tons in regards to your inner life. Have you noticed that in the age of the Roman Empire, we were, as a civilization, so advanced intellectually, but technologically, we were so retrograde. And nowadays, it's just pretty much the opposite. We are so advanced technologically, but spiritually, mentally, as individuals, we have never been so far behind. And this should really concern us, guys. We put value in things today that don't make sense, and as you can probably tell by now, and if you identify with things that I'm saying, don't give you the happiness that you're looking for. It doesn't fulfill that void that you're trying to fill within yourself. And through this way of doing things, I hope that I'll bring some light and some resolution to this particular issue. So that is it for me today, guys. I hope you can take something of value out of this video and that this will improve your life in any way. And if it did so, be sure to comment down below on your experiences or with any life advice that you might want to share with us. And be sure to subscribe for more videos like this, as I upload new videos every week and you won't want to miss them. Until then, stay safe. I'm Martin Shred, and I'll see you guys on my next video.